Welcome to the webinar on building the best foundations with Padworth College and NCUK, and we're going to look forward to hearing all about them a bit later on in the next hour. And welcome, we've had 88 students and families and school counsellors from across the world, particularly West Africa, register for today's event, and we look forward to welcoming you in person or sending you the video after the presentation. And do send us questions in the Q&A, and we've already had one or two already. Now, spring is in the air in the UK, the birds are tweeting, the flowers are blooming, and the schools are reopening next week, and we're all very excited about that. More than 20 million people have been vaccinated, and there's a new sense of optimism in the air, more than ever before. Students and families are looking to study in the UK, because they see that as a safe haven for academic excellence and a COVID-safe environment. And I know personally we have double the number of students that we had this time last year looking at places for boarding schools. Just a bit about myself before we start with the presentations today. I've spent 20 years in education on senior leadership teams, including Rodine, and worked with King's Canterbury, Malvern College, etc. And I've been working with Nigerian families and Ghanaian families for 12 years. And we share a joint commitment to provide an outstanding education for the next generation. And that's something that we all have in common. And it's our priority as educationalists online today. And I know it's your priority as parents today as well. And what we've also got in common is we love welcoming Nigerian and Ghanaian students to our universities and colleges and sixth form colleges and schools. And what they all say is West African students are uniquely talented and are welcomed because they're hardworking, gifted at sports, drama and the creative arts, and get on with everyone and quickly rise to the top to become prefects or even head boy and head girl. And I know the last webinar I ran, the school agreed with that point about they had a head girl and head boy from Nigeria at the time. Last time I was in Nigeria was a year ago, and that was to launch an online school, and people were quite skeptical, saying online will never take off, and what's all this newfangled thing about online schools? And then a month later the whole school has been online, and I know Padworth has had fantastic online provision to all its students all across the world in various different time zones, and I'm sure we'll hear about that as well. And I know you personally as students and families will be studying online as well, and it's provided many advantages. But as students return to school in next week and the summer term or September, we're looking forward to welcoming students practically and physically in our schools, and particularly at Padworth today. So finally, just in my introduction, what makes a great school? Well, a few years ago, I studied 16 research reports which assessed the main factor in considering a boarding school, and that's where your son or daughter are going to be happiest. And happiness is the key criteria to choosing a boarding school. And I know the students at Padworth are incredibly happy and fulfilled and successful, and I've enjoyed visiting Padworth many times over the last 10 years and met a lot of students and happy staff as well. What makes a great school? Another factor is an all-round education. It's not just about what goes on in the classroom, but it's identifying and fulfilling potential through sport, dance, drama competitions, and many educational trips. And I know Padworth is full of those activities, providing an all-round education, which you can't get online or many schools in Nigeria or Ghana. Academics, at the end of the day, the main point is to achieve the right results and the best results and fulfill the potential. And finally, what makes a great school is nurturing a close relationship between student and teacher to support each student's overall personal development. That's a quote from the Padworth website. Pastoral care is second to none at Padworth. So now we're going to start the programme and kick off with Mark Jeynes, who is the Director of Inspiring Futures Education, proprietor of Padworth College and Bishopstrow, who I've known for many years And we've been touring around Nigeria a few times as well, and visited schools and had various presentations and shared Uber drives and everything else. So we have many happy memories of visiting Nigeria together. But over to Mark to tell us all about Padworth College.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you very much for organising this webinar today and inviting ourselves and NCUK to present on building the best foundations for students from West Africa. Just wanted to start off with some introduction. So as Mark said, I'm Mark Jeynes, one of the directors of Inspiring Futures Education and proprietors of Padworth College and our sister school, Bishopstowe College. I'm joined by a number of colleagues today, along with Andrew. So I will ask them to introduce themselves, going from left to right, I think, across the screen. So Lorraine, over to you. Lorraine, you're on mute, I think.
Sorry. Hello, I'm Lorraine Atkins, and I'm principal of Padworth College. I've worked for Inspiring Futures Education for the past 6 years and have enjoyed being at Padworth for the last 18 months.
Andrew?
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Andy Straughan. I work for NCUK. I've managed NCUK's operations across the African continent for the last 7 years. So I've had many experiences and trips to Nigeria and to Ghana. And yeah, it's really good to be part of today's session and hopefully enlighten you on the opportunities Padworth and NCUK can bring. So thanks for having me.
Betty?
Hi, Hi, I'm Betty Dagistan. I'm the Director of Global Engagement at Inspiring Futures Education. I have previously been working with the NCUK in another capacity and have joined Padworth College just very recently. And I'm looking forward to the remainder of this session. Thank you.
And finally, I think Chidinma is also with us from Nigeria.
Hello, everyone. Good morning from Nigeria. My name is Chidinma Ogbonna. I am the Regional Manager for West Africa at Padworth College, and I look after all our students from Nigeria and Ghana. And it will be a pleasure to look after your kids as well, so send them to Padworth.
Thank you, everybody. So just a quick run through of the agenda. We don't have too much time, so we're going to move through quite quickly. I'll start off with a brief overview of Padworth past and present, then hand over to Lorraine, who will talk about the NCUK International Foundation Year Programme and progression onto university. Lorraine will then hand over to Andrew, who will provide some perspectives on NCUK's partners and progression. We then have Betty introducing one of our students currently studying on the International Foundation Year Programme, Shima, and Shima will talk a little bit about her experience at Padworth. She's been with us now since September, followed by a Q&A session, and we've got the chat function, but I think we may also be able to open up Q&A to sort of direct questions, and then Chidinma will wrap things up around about midday UK time. So starting off with a little bit about Padworth College, past and present. We'll start with the history. The college was established in 1963. So we're coming up to our 60th birthday in a couple of years. It was established by Peter Fison, who was an Oxford University professor, and he was keen and had a vision to bring Oxford's tutorial style teaching to school level education, which I think back in the 1960s was quite innovative. It was originally a girls' school, but later went co-ed. And today, the college is an international boarding and day school for students aged 14 to 19. So we enroll from year 10 through to year 13. And we've got a long history of enrolling students from West Africa. A lot of students who previously have been at the college from Nigeria and Ghana, and students today who are at the college from Nigeria and Ghana. And the photo there is from one of my last trips actually with Mark Brooks, when we visited Day Waterman College, just north of Lagos, and attended a sixth form information session during the weekend. As Mark said, have had a number of trips to Nigeria and Ghana, Delighted now that we've got Chidinma representing Padworth locally, but very keen to continue to develop our ties with the region. In terms of the college today, so we offer a broad range of academic programs to prepare students for onward progression, mainly to UK universities, although we do have some students progressing to universities in other countries. We're a small school, so we have up to 100 boarders and 20 day students. We think that's important in terms of the nature of the provision we can offer and the support we can provide students both in the classroom and outside the classroom. It's very much an international community here at Padworth. International students represent about 80% of the student body, and we have about 30 nationalities represented. So it's important that you and your child understands that they will be joining an international community. The largest nationality group is British, 20% of enrolments, but it really is a melting pot of different cultures represented at the college. And we've got a fantastic location, a 12-acre site on the edge of the hamlet of Padworth, which is a few miles from the university town of Reading, and London is close by. So from Reading, you can get into central London in about 30 minutes on the train, and we're also about 40 minutes drive from London Heathrow Airport. So a great setting, close proximity to Reading and also London. In terms of some of our key dimensions of differentiation, what makes a Padworth education different? We have a strong focus on the development of independent learning to facilitate the transition from foundation to university. The majority of our students are studying with us in the sixth form, both A-levels and the NCUK foundation program. And we're very much set up, therefore, to focus on that transition, helping students develop independent skills that they will need to go on and be successful in higher education. We have a commitment to realizing academic potential and finding the right career pathways. And we do that through small class sizes, average size of 6 to 8 students, and the tutorial model that Peter Fison, our founder, originally started at Padworth. So all students have a personal tutor who they meet with on a daily basis, in some cases more than once a day. And that personal tutor supports them with all aspects of their education, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's outside the classroom, and including their university applications. We offer a traditional British curriculum, but a modern approach and a global outlook. Global outlook being reflected by our international community, and our modern approach by the fact that we don't have a school uniform. We have a dress code, but we don't have a school uniform. We have a medical school and Oxbridge preparation programs, and a strong focus on high quality pastoral support, promoting independence and aiding the transition to university. In terms of our programs, we're obviously here today to focus on the foundation year, the NCUK International Foundation Year program, but we also offer GCSEs over 2 years and 1 year, and A-levels over 2 years and 18 months, the 18 months being a January start. And we also have a 1-year A-level program for students transferring into year 13, and a study abroad program, which is an immersion program for short-term placements. In addition to academic subjects, all of those programs have a sort of in-depth extracurricular sort of component to them. Enrichment programs, so outside the classroom, we offer a variety of sport, social activities, recreational activities, and weekend trips. These, we believe, are important, particularly for international students who in most cases are experiencing education in the UK for the first time. We feel they help foster team spirit and the confidence to integrate with others, which will be important when they move on to university. We offer a range of sports, which we know are very popular with our students from West Africa, particularly football. But the students also have the opportunity to take part in a variety of activities, both on campus and off campus. So this is an important part of our provision. And boarding is central to the ethos of the college. And given the college's size of 100 boarders, we have a very close-knit community, and the environment here very much is like a home-from-home setting for the students. We're very proud of the pastoral care that we offer, and the pastoral care that's provided by the residential team. And that's complemented by full medical support from the local GP. A number of our team, including Lorraine, the principal, her deputy, and the boarding staff reside on campus. And so we do have this sort of family atmosphere of care and support for the students at all times, whether that's during the school week or also at the weekends. We've got some fantastic boarding facilities. You can see there some pictures of the common rooms and boarding. Almost all of the students have their own single bedroom, which again is important in terms of preparing them for that transition to university. Separate houses for boys and girls, and all of the boarding houses are on campus, very close to the classroom facilities, the main Padworth house, and other facilities on site. And we've got an excellent team of chefs who prepare fantastic food for the students, which generally is very well received. But that was a quick run through because I'm conscious of the time. We're broadly on time. So Lorraine will now elaborate a little bit more on the International Foundation Year Programme at Padworth.
Good morning, everybody. Padworth's International Foundation Year Programme with NCUK. We were delighted to be accredited as an NCUK delivery partner, and we are now teaching the International Foundation Programme here. It's a one-year qualification, and it's primarily designed for international students to prepare them for their first year on their undergraduate degree course at reputable universities all around the world. There are 4 pathways available: business, engineering, humanities, and science. We will be offering all 4 pathways from September, and on the successful completion of the IFY year, we will be able to guarantee entry to one of the 16 NCUK partner universities. Now, the partner universities include the University of Birmingham, Bristol, Leeds, Manchester, Queen Mary, which is part of the University of London, and the University of Sheffield. There are some very, very good partner universities in NCUK, and the students that complete the course get guaranteed entry, which is amazing. As we've said, there are 4 pathways available. The business pathway prepares the students for a variety of degree courses, particularly for business, finance, and any kind of management. The engineering pathway is obviously for the engineering degrees and a wide range of those. And humanities is the one pathway that is for social sciences, law, international relations. And you need to be aware when it's the one NCUK IFY pathway which doesn't require the study of maths. I'll talk about the academic modules in a minute. And the science pathway, ideal for medicine and any science related degree, and is obviously very, very popular with scientists. Now, all of the IFY courses have a core module in English for academic purposes, and it also involves study skills. Very, very important that students coming to the UK are able to access the academic English and be aware of maybe the change in study style for UK universities. As well as that, each module has slightly different subject areas. So for business, they'll do business, economics, and maths. Engineering, it will be chemistry, maths, and physics. And in the humanities, it is business studies, economics, and society and politics. And I believe that it could well be changing to sociology. In science, obviously, it's biology, chemistry, and maths. And you know, students really can go down the direction of their passion and really prepare themselves for the next step at university. as we've alluded to, and I know that Andrew's going to talk more, there are a wide range of universities to suit all students, and there are some really top-ranked universities available not only in the UK but in the world. If you look at the range of universities, you'll see names like Exeter, Bristol, Sheffield, Manchester, all very prominent big universities in the UK. But don't forget that you can also apply to New Zealand. There's also the USA and Canada. It's really important to understand what, once a student comes to Padworth or signs up with Padworth, how we prepare them for their university application. Once we know what pathway the student is going to sign up for, then we will start to give the students some reading to do. We will suggest what work experience and internships they really need to have encountered. Although things are perhaps a little bit difficult at the moment because of COVID, we are also able to direct students to internships that are virtual, so they can still get that wide range of experience. We need this kind of preparation prior to joining us, so that when they write their personal statement, they really are fluent and able to run with their experiences. Once they come to Padworth, both with the Director of Studies and with their student counsellor from the NCUK support team, we will advise and help students to choose what would be the right university for them. It's really important that they choose either a campus or a city-based university that suits them, and obviously the courses as well. Then they will fill in their UCAS form, which usually students spend an awful lot of time on their personal statement. We will have already started helping them with that before they ever see the form. Once they filled in their UCAS statement, they send it off. We will track their offers with them. They will have a personal tutor who will help support them on making decisions, so that when they get their results from NCUK, they will know exactly what university requirements they've met. They'll know whether they've met their unconditional offer, and then they will be able to really sort of focus on where they're going. Should they not meet the condition of their offer, then there's plenty of support from not only the college and NCUK to acquire a place in clearing, and then they will obviously have help from the Padworth staff to apply for their visa.
Thank you, Lorraine. I think, Andrew, it's over to you now. Do you want to screen share?
Yes, please.
Let's stop that then. Over to you.
Okay. Okay, hopefully you should all be able to see my screen. Yes?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So basically, during this session, I'm going to sort of expand on some of the points that Lorraine has just made there regarding particularly the university progression and how that really does sort of define NCUK's International Foundation Year in the market. Just before I start, I would also like to just give a little bit more information about what NCUK is and how they work. So let me just play a short video. I'm just going to make sure the sound's on. Slightly cheesy, I know, but it does really encapsulate exactly what NCUK is as an organisation, which is working with our partners like Padworth to enable students to get their progression to whatever university that they sort of really dream of going on to. So we offer a range of undergraduate and postgraduate degree pathway programs, but obviously we are specifically focusing on our International Year 1 program today. It is still a fairly new partnership with Padworth. You know, we are still in the fairly early stages, but as Lorraine said, we've already gone through a very rigorous academic accreditation process, and we're absolutely wholeheartedly confident that our NCUK students studying with Padworth will go on to achieve some fantastic results and some great progression options. But we are very experienced generally in working with international students and have done now since 1987. And in that time, close to 40,000 students have actually progressed through our foundation year. So it's very much a tried and trusted qualification, which our universities have had very active input into designing. And it's certainly a qualification that each and every one of our universities fully recognises and appreciates. So the International Foundation Year itself, as has been covered, it is really designed and works particularly well in the Nigerian and Ghanaian markets, really, because traditionally the Nigerian and Ghanaian system is 1 year shorter than it is here in the UK, which means that our UK universities do require that students completing the high school qualification. Generally speaking, they have to do that additional year. This is where the International Foundation Year is sort of the perfect solution to plug that gap. And every year we've got hundreds of Nigerian and Ghanaian students studying with us who have perhaps progressed on from, I don't know, WASI or WIEC, from NECO, that's another option, and also from IGCSE. The International Foundation Year, again, where it sort of stands out against some other foundation years around the world is that we've actually got formal recognition from UK NARIC, what they used to be called anyway, which is a governmental organisation which really does look to evaluate international qualifications all over the world. And they've concluded that our 9-month International Foundation Year is actually comparable to a 2-year A-level programme, to American High School AP, and also Aussie qualifications like SSCE. So I think this really does demonstrate the quality of the programme. And I will say foundation programmes do sometimes have a reputation of being the easy option for students, but it is a very academically rigorous programme, and that's why we're able to offer guaranteed progression onto genuinely world-class universities. As I mentioned, typically students from the region, from the region that we're discussing today, will be coming in from WIEC after they've completed their SS3. What I would encourage students and parents to look at is you can sort of start the process really in terms of application by working with colleagues at Padworth on things like your predicted grades, so we can sort of get the ball rolling. You don't have to wait until you've graduated in the summer to formally kickstart the process. So that is worth thinking about. Generally speaking, most of our students will be at least 17 years of age, but certainly something I've seen over the last few years with working in Nigeria specifically is that students seem to be getting smarter and smarter earlier and earlier now. So I do just want to reassure that there are lots of options for any students who are potentially coming in at 16 years of age. But again, I'd really encourage you to engage and work with Padworth admission colleagues to talk you through what might be the best option for you, whether that be IFY or A-levels. So we've already seen sort of a list of the universities available, but just want to spend a couple of minutes really talking about how proud we are really and how this list of accredited universities that we work with really does differentiate NCUK's foundation year in the market. So on the universities listed there are 8 universities in the QS World Top 100. So if you are a student who is focused on rankings, and we understand many students are looking at rankings when they're thinking about their next options, then we really do have that covered. We've got a number of universities who are in the top 100, as I've mentioned. We've also got quite a number of universities who rank particularly well on a faculty by faculty basis. So that's something to think about when you are applying to university. Some universities may not be in the overall world top 100, but their actual faculties are, you know, very, very well ranked. A couple of always good examples of that, and a couple of universities that we know are popular in Nigeria and in Ghana would be the likes of the University of Bradford and Manchester Metropolitan University, who both, their business schools are AACSB accredited, which actually does place them in the top 1% of business schools globally. So again, it is worth, when embarking on your journey with Padworth, to bear that in mind when you are researching your onward progression options, because there are some great options across the university network. We've also recently sort of expanded way past the 16 universities that we do work with now to also include some great universities outside of the UK. Now, naturally, I'm British, so I'm going to be very biased in saying that I think that all international students should definitely consider studying in the UK. We've got a great track record, and there are close to 400,000 international students studying in the UK. So it's great for networking and all of the experiences which come with that. But we do also understand that some students, believe it or not, do actually want to look outside of the UK. So we do have some great pathways to North America, both the United States and also Canada. I know University of Alberta, for example, has been very popular among our NCUK students this year. They've, I think, had close to 40 applications for progression this year. So we know that Canada is very popular in Nigeria and in Ghana. So we've potentially got you covered, and it would give you, I think, quite an interesting and unique experience to sort of have that experience of studying in the UK with Padworth, and then maybe using it as a stepping stone to go somewhere a little further afield. We also work with some great universities in Australia and in New Zealand. And because they are sort of really, really engaged with NCUK and very keen to attract NCUK students, there are some very attractive potential scholarship opportunities among those particular universities. But I will cover scholarships briefly in a few slides' time. Lorraine has mentioned our university course finder, but I think if you were to take one sort of take-home message from my presentation, it would be to visit NCUK's website and go onto our university course finder and have a play around with the tool for yourself, because there are over 4,000 degrees listed on there. It's very transparent from the offset. It will tell you exactly what you need to achieve on your foundation year at Padworth to get progression onto the degree or university of your choice. So it's very transparent from the offset, and there's sort of a clear expectation in place on what our universities expect from you as an NCUK student. So it's a really great tool. And it's also an opportunity for you if there are, I mean, if I just touch upon my own experience at university, I didn't have a clue what university I wanted to go to, what degree I wanted to study on. And having a tool like the University Course Finder, I think, would have really helped sort of my own journey. So you really don't have to know exactly what university or degree you want to go on to when you're starting with NCUK. We will work closely with you, with Padworth, to make sure that you are getting the right information and the right sort of counselling to make sure you've made the right decision for you. The other thing that I think is really important to spend a couple of minutes on is actually talking about our medical sort of / health sciences / dentistry progression options, which are available to you if you study on our international foundation year. Now, again, this is a really clear differentiation as to why we believe our international foundation year is sort of a lot stronger than many of the other foundation years out there, because we can offer progression opportunities directly into medicine. So again, it equates you as level to if you'd studied on an A-level program, for example. And just this week, we've had confirmation from the University of Bristol that they will be welcoming our applications from our international foundation year directly onto both of their dentistry and medicine programs. So again, it's a great school, it's a great university. And again, it's just an example of another great opportunity for NCUK students. Equally, Medicine is super expensive, not going to sort of sugarcoat that in any way. It's also a very typically longer program than most degree programs in the UK. So I know last year and typically every year we have many students from Nigeria and Ghana coming to us and saying, definitely want to study medicine. It's definitely for me. We obviously give them some information about the cost and the time element, and the fact that we've also got over 80 different programs in the likes of biomedical sciences, pharmacy, nursing. There's lots and lots of alternative options available if maybe medicine is a step too far for you. But again, we've got great counselling available to help you through this journey. So if you are totally focused on medicine or dentistry, then again, Padworth is a potential option for you with the IFY programme. Now, just sort of to start wrapping things up, I just wanted to draw some attention towards some prize awards and scholarship opportunities that you as an NCUK student also have access to. I know this photo will look awfully strange in today's day and age, but that, believe it or not, is a crowd of people together at a party that we had back in 2019, which sort of formally recognised sort of our best performing students from across the network. So there's students from over 30 nationalities on that particular photograph, and it's just a way for NCUK to bring our ambassadors together and really celebrate their success. We also, working with our universities, have a number of scholarships available that are made available by our university partners specifically for NCUK students. Now, we've picked some of the scholarships available here, but again, I would really sort of encourage you to have a look at the scholarship section of NCUK's website, and that details each and every one of the scholarships available across each of the universities. Some of them are automatic, so if you apply for certain universities, you get the grades, you get admission, you're automatically allocated a fee reduction. It can be for 1 year, or some more often than not, it's actually each and every year you're studying with that university. Some, as you'd expect, are based on academic merit, so the better you perform on your foundation year at Padworth, the better opportunities you might have to get sort of a heftier scholarship, which might be available. And we had 2 Nigerian students studying with us last year who were both awarded an £8,000 scholarship from the University of Kent. So this is not just a pipe dream or, saying over-promising something. Every year we've got students from the region who are getting some really great scholarships, which recognises their hard work. So it is worth checking out our website. It is also, we do have some scholarships available which are based on sort of a faculty by faculty basis. And I think Aston University's example there is a great sort of incentive, particularly to any female students who are looking maybe at some alternative options and sort of becoming pioneers, if you like, within their field. There are some great incentives across our university network. I'm just going to play again a short student testimonial from some of our prior NCUK students, and then I'll hand back over to Mark, where I think we might be meeting an IFY student.
It has been a wonderful experience with NCUK. They really prepared me for studying and living in the UK.
I feel that, I've been amply prepared, prepared enough to tackle challenges that university was to offer.
The NCUK really played a vital role in helping me apply for university.
It was a really good experience. My tutors were really helpful.
Personally, I believe NCUK was one of the best decisions I made.
I received all necessary support.
And I'd highly recommend the NCUK program.
And you can go through the same successful path I did.
Okay, well, I think that sort of perfectly sums up my part of the presentation. I'll hand back over to Mark, but I'm around for the rest of the session to answer any questions you might have for NCUK, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Andrew. That was really useful to see. So the next item on the agenda is the student experience. So I think Betty is going to introduce Shima, one of our current IFY students at Padworth. And I think, Betty, you're going to ask Shima a few questions to share her experience so far.
Yes, thank you very much, Mark. Shima, are you online?
Yeah, hi, here.
Oh, I can't hear you, Shima. Shima, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
It's very, very low. Can everybody else hear? Did you hear, Mark?
A little bit, Shima. Can you speak up a bit?
Yeah, is it better now?
That's it. That's much better. Thank you so much, Shima, for joining us this morning. Obviously, a big part of the NCUK experience is the experience which you have on campus. So Shima, could you explain a little bit about your experience of studying the NCUK Foundation at Padworth for us, please?
So hi everyone. I'm Shima. I'm from Iran. I'm 18 years old, and it's the first experience that I'm studying abroad. I'm currently studying the engineering pathway of NCUK International Foundation course. Should I talk about my modules?
Sure. So which pathway are you studying, Shima?
I'm studying the engineering pathway because I wanted to study engineering in university next year.
And which modules are you studying?
Yeah, they're physics, maths for engineering, and chemistry, and also EAP, it's English for academic purposes.
Is it difficult?
No.
No? Okay, that's good. And how did you find the transition, Shima, going from the Iranian school system to joining the NCUK Foundation?
So I completed high school in Iran. It's 12 years there, so I had to take a foundation program. And I was very anxious in the beginning because it's the first time I'm studying in English. And the education system is different. And it was hard, but I had a lot of support from my teachers and from my tutor. And yeah, it's like we did everything step by step. So I learned along the way and it got easier as we move forward.
Sure. And Shima, why did you choose to study the foundation instead of studying a A-level program?
Well, the foundation program is 1 year, so but the A-level is 2 years, so I get to go to university next year. And in the foundation program, one thing that I really liked about it was the EAP course. So in EAP, it's not, I did my IELTS before and I got the entry requirements, like I got the grade that I needed. I got 7, which was enough for universities. But in the EAP course, we also work on study skills and research skills, which are some things that you definitely need in university. It's so when you go to the university next year, there's going to be lectures. You have to know how to like do presentations or do assignments or analyze articles. And we learn all of that in the EAP course.
Okay, great. And Shima, could you talk a little bit about your university application? So which universities are you applying to?
I applied to Warwick, Sheffield. I got 2 courses in Sheffield, and York and Hull.
York and Hull, okay. And which degree programs were they for?
It was electronic engineering and artificial intelligence and computer science again, and one was electrical and electronic engineering.
Okay, that sounds very complex, Shima. And could you talk a little bit about the support you received with your personal statement and the support you received with applying to these universities?
So I started the course from September, and we didn't really have that much time. I was really worried that I couldn't look into all the universities or do my personal statement. But so from the beginning of the course, we in the EAP sessions or in sessions that I have with my tutor, we did personal statements, how I should write them. There were some virtual events. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a lot of support, like understanding, getting information that how I should choose my universities, what things I should be considering. And yeah, I got a lot of support writing my personal statement too. Like I had 7 or 8 drafts. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, great. And how would you describe, Shima, your overall experience at Padworth? What's life like at Padworth?
Right now, it's actually really good because, as you know, like it's lockdown happening, and a lot of the colleges and schools were closed. But here we have, because we have a boarding bubble, so we're not really worried about getting corona because everyone's staying on campus, and my teachers are here. We have face-to-face lessons, and there are boarding activities.
And Shima, what sort of what do you do outside of the classroom? Do you do sports? What extracurricular activities do you do?
So after we have our lessons, and we also have 2 sessions of PE every week. We have a court. We play basketball or tennis. We have a portal cabin where we go to do some exercises, or we also have a table tennis. There are clubs like tennis club or other clubs like debate club. And after that, well, there are common rooms. We have common rooms, and we do, I don't know, we watch movies, we play, there are some games.
Sure.
Play those games, or we have pool, we play pool. Yeah.
And how easy was it, Shima, to make friends at Padworth?
Actually, I was studying online before I was on campus for like 3 months, and I had friends. I haven't met some of them still because they're not here, but yeah, so it's, because it's an international college, and we have students from everywhere, like from Bahrain, from Moldova, from Italy, India, China, everywhere. So we found each other on Teams. They messaged me like, you're a new student, and we talked a bit about here, and we have very great time.
Okay, great. And a very important question that I always get asked, especially in the West African webinars, is what's the food like, Shima? Very important question.
Yeah, it is an important question. The food is, I don't know, the food is amazing. I didn't really think that you get that kind of food in boarding schools, but everyone's really satisfied with the food. So we always have different options to choose from. We always have vegetables, dessert, and ice cream sometimes.
Sounds great, Shima.
Yeah, and if you have any inquiry or like any allergies, or you want vegetarian, the chefs are very nice. So I cannot eat pork, and each time that the main food is pork, Ahmed would ask me if I want beef instead or chicken, because he has to prepare it for the next day, even if it's just like the two of us. He prepares the food that we really like, and they're open to suggestions.
Good, sounds excellent. Thank you so much, Shima. Thank you for sharing your experience. I think you're hanging around as well for the Q&A session. So do we have any questions? Mark, I'll hand over to you if you wanted to say anything, Mark Brooks.
Yes, yeah, thanks very much. That's fantastic to hear firsthand experience from Shima, and I can vouch that the food is very good as well. I've eaten at Padworth a few times, and it is hot and spicy enough for West African palates too. So we've had quite a few questions. The first question was maybe for Betty or Lorraine or Mark to pick up, is firstly, what options are there for 16-year-olds at Padworth? We've heard a lot about joining the NCUK programme at 17, and this family have a 16-year-old they're looking to place. So what are the options there?
Lorraine, do you want to?
Yes. It would very much depend on what the educational background of that particular student is. We would recommend that they start the NCUK course with us at the age of 17. But if there was a very strong 16-year-old, we would certainly look at them, or we would recommend an A-level programme for them. But really get in touch. Let's find out about what your son or daughter is like. And then we can put a programme that's suitable for them, because what we really need to emphasise is that we actually look at the student and find out what's best for them.
Good, thanks very much. So there are options, and they should get in touch with you or Betty and to find out and see what their particular circumstances are.
Yeah, that would be lovely.
The second question we had from Emeka, who I know very well. So hello, Emeka in Lagos. And if I can aim this one at Andrew, it's Emeka is asking the difference between studying the NCUK programme in Nigeria compared to studying it in the UK. What would be some of the advantages of studying it in the UK?
I think the first thing to really emphasise is it is the same programme. So the actual academic content, regardless of whether you're studying it in Nigeria, China, Peru, or UK, it is the same academic content. But I think, and I think Shima, through the testimonial that's been given there, I think the big attraction of doing it via Padworth is you're getting that additional experience by actually having that additional year of studying here in the UK and within the environment that Padworth are providing. So I think we've heard lots of information and lots of testimonies that Padworth students are extremely happy and really do enjoy their time at Padworth. So I think it is that additional experience that Padworth potentially provides that sort of differentiates it to if you were studying it in Nigeria. But again, there's not a right or a wrong option for you there. It's sort of down to your choice, really.
Would you also agree that there's an advantage of breaking up the transition from Nigeria directly into a big university and actually coming to a kind of sixth form college with 100 or so students, strong pastoral care, and particularly communication between the parents and the students? Would you say that's an advantage as well?
I think it's definitely an interesting point, and I don't doubt for one moment that there will be students who sort of like having that stepping stone and like having that sort of smaller scale experience of moving to another country with Padworth. So yeah, that is definitely something that might resonate with certainly a number of students.
Brilliant, thanks. And the next one is for Betty. We've talked about the WAEC and WASE and other qualifications, and as well as IGCSEs. What grades are you looking for, and how do you assess whether a student is going to be capable of studying the NCUK programme in 1 year? do you have entry requirements, tests, and those kind of things?
Yes, we do. So each student, so we will need 5 grade A to C grades equivalent in GCSE. And Chidinma will talk a little bit more about the WIAC entry requirements shortly. Each student would then have to sit the password maths test. If they don't have an IELTS, which is IELTS 5.5 is our entry requirement, they would also need to sit the password English test. Each student is also interviewed by Lorraine as well, and Lorraine will then assess the student's suitability to the course and will make an academic judgment based on interview, academic qualifications, and results from the password test.
Brilliant, that sounds very clear. So, and I know we've sent students to Padworth and helped students with the process, and it is a very straightforward process.
Yes.
And also they can sit the examination questions at home, and I've personally supervised quite a few of those examinations over Zoom, so they don't have to go to British Council or school or anything as well. The next question is for Lorraine, really, and I will ask the question as it's worded. Is it compulsory to start with the NCUK programme before going to Padworth? So I think what that question is it compulsory to study the NCUK programme at Padworth, or do you have any other courses that you can study at Padworth? Lorraine can take that one on.
Okay, we have a range of courses that students can study at Padworth. We do obviously do the NCUK International Foundation Year, but we do IGCSE and we do A-level courses as well as maybe short immersion courses into the UK, or maybe if you have a student or a son or daughter who perhaps wants to have a preparation before they go on to the NCUK course, we can do that. So really, as I said before to someone, contact us, tell us about the student, and we will have a sensible and a chat that we will find what fits that individual.
Brilliant. And the final question I had from a family yesterday, in fact, was the timing of when to contact Padworth for September 21 entry, because with the delays in the exams and unclarity as to when exams will sit, what format they're going to sit, results are going to be maybe later than usual. Is there a time where it's too late to apply or even too early to apply to Padworth for A-levels or NCUK following the IGCSE or WIAC results? Maybe Betty can take that one.
Yeah, absolutely. No, obviously we are trying to be as flexible as possible given the current circumstances. So we will be taking applications, the sooner the better, obviously. But at the moment, we don't have a cut-off date for applications to Padworth for any of the programmes. So do just inquire either with myself or with Chidinma, and we will be able to support you with any questions or applications.
And I think Andrew has something to add to that as well.
Yeah, the one thing, and apologies, there's a bit of noise. My next door neighbour happens to have decided to stop using a big drill, so apologies for the noise there. One thing I would say is I would encourage particularly students who are looking at the medical health science progression routes to get in touch with Padworth sooner rather than later, because there are some quite tight deadlines at the beginning of term. Where the earlier you can get involved in the process, the earlier you can start your application, so we don't miss some of those key deadlines. So that's particularly around medicine, dentistry. So if you are joining us and interested in that, don't hesitate, and I'd get in touch sooner rather than later.
Well, thanks for that Q&A session. We're going to be sending the slides of the presentations to everyone this afternoon, and the video will be sent to you as well. Back to Mark Jeynes for the next roundup.
Well, Mark, there's a couple more in the Q&A, I think, that we haven't addressed yet. The first question is how many students are in a room at Padworth? I'm assuming that relates to boarding accommodation, and we have 100 boarders, or up to 100 boarders at Padworth, and 90 of those boarders have single study bedrooms. So certainly all of those in the sixth form, those in the foundation program would have a single study bedroom. So they would be sharing with no one else. There are a small number of rooms that are twin rooms if someone had a particular interest in sharing. And there's a second question, which was, do you have any virtual course programs? This year, given COVID, we are offering our programs in online formats because of obviously the travel restrictions that are in place. And that will continue through to the end of the summer term. We are hoping that all of our students will be back on campus from September, but we will review that closer to the time in case we need to continue to offer an online option. But certainly at the moment, yes, from September, we're hopeful that everyone will be back on campus.
And a question I was asked yesterday, which is increasingly being asked by families, is if students are coming to the UK in September, but feel they've got a little bit behind with their kind of studies, are you offering any kind of catch-up courses or anything in the summer that you can help prepare so they kind of hit the ground running with you in September?
Betty or Lorraine, do you want to take that one?
Lorraine?
Okay, I suppose, as I said about sort of for students who are applying for medicine, it's really important if you could apply as soon as possible, because we will be putting in place work for you to do over the summer and maybe work experience, internships, and maybe some preparation materials. We've got no course that we're planning to do at the moment, but obviously if there was a big demand, that might change our plans. But there is plenty of individual study work that we will be putting in your direction if you get in touch with us early enough. And that's the key.
Thank you, Lorraine. Conscious of the time, so I think the last sort of speaker here is Chidinma, just to sort of wrap things up. So Chidinma, over to you.
Hello again. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Just to touch on the entry requirements, academic entry requirements. So for WAEC, it's at least 5 credits to be on the foundation program. You need to have at least 5 credits, maths and English inclusive. And then also for students looking to study medicine, they need at least a B in chemistry. This is the requirement from most of the universities that the NCUK partners with. Our age requirement for foundation is 17 plus, but we understand that Nigeria and our Ghanaian students are now finishing secondary school really early. So we will take on a case-by-case basis students who are mature at 16. They'll need to go through our interview and entrance exam as well. Another thing I'd like to touch on is the fact that the NCUK also progresses to other universities. It's not just restricted to the partner universities as listed in the slides. We have students who have gone on to Warwick, King's College, and those are not listed on the slide. So if you have children who want to study at any other universities outside the partner universities, do get in touch with us at Padworth College. I will type in my email below for anyone who wants to contact me for further information, or if you would like a one-on-one academic chat with any of our academics, this can be arranged as well. Thank you so much for your time and do have a lovely day.
Thanks, Chidinma.
Thank you, Chidinma. We have one more question that's come through on the Q&A. We are interested in the 2022-23 session. When do you suggest we apply to Padworth? Betty, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, I would say probably from September 2021 would be a good time to start looking at the following year. So you can contact Chidinma, and Chidinma at the moment would be happy to talk through the various options with you at Padworth, and then we can formally make the application for September 2022 and September, October 2021. Okay.
Thank you. Just a quick thank you from all of us at Padworth to Mark for hosting and organising today's event. Thank you very much, Mark. Great to be partnering with you again in promoting Padworth in West Africa. And thank you, Andrew, for joining us with your NCUK hats on. Again, great to be on another webinar with you promoting the IFY.
Always happy to help. Thank you.
And look forward to the time that we can bring you back to Nigeria and Ghana and meet personally some of the families that we work with. And it's been great to hear more about Padworth and NCUK today.
Great.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you everyone for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.